This conference will now be recorded.
Hello everyone, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
So today is our first class in our ABAP training, and I recommend everybody to keep a notepad or Excel with you, and you just mention in that notepad or Excel like a day, topic, and practice and your comments with 4 columns, so that it will give you an idea which topics are discussed and what about our practice, and do we have any concerns on the topic, like practice is yet to done, or we have a couple of questions on the topic not at clarity, we don't have a clarity. So it will be helpful in a overall in our training period. I'll just start with the topic, and this is your responsibility. You need to keep a content in your Excel or notepad, whatever it is. Keep it with your in your desktop, that document. So day, what was the topic, and then practice, is it completed or not, and your comments. So day one, today we are going to talk about architecture, SAP popular software product ERP or S4. This product architecture we are going to talk. And when come to the practice, for this practice is not required, and comments after your 1 hour session is completed, and you just go and then update your comments. It is understandable or having any questions on that. And for example, you have a questions, you just listen the topic on the 1 hour session. In 1 hour session, most probably 20-30 minutes you have a full focus on the content, and then you will be deviated or bored. So that is common, because this is not a movie to where you need to spend a full time on the topic. Obviously you'll be getting deviated. So next time when you uh, have the video recording, and again you will go to the recording, and in that time you will be having few more clarity on the topic. And when you're looking into real picture, you will get some doubts and all. So that questions, whether in your point it is a simple or big, you don't know. Whatever it is, whenever you have a question on your mind, try to get it clarified. So first thing is, never ask immediately somebody to address your question and answers. So you have a question, with that question first try to search in Google. Okay, so this is what is the solution for this. Try on your own to find out the solution. And second thing, don't spend more time on searching. That is also not recommended. Okay, first try on your own, spend at least 5 to 10 minutes, and then if you are not able to get the answers, and you have a Telegram group, and if it is not created yet, you just ask institute team to create the Telegram group. In that Telegram group, immediately post your question, so that I'll check and I'll respond back to you. And in that way you will have a clarity, and then you have a full whatever you can say, like full grip on the subject. So make adapt like this, so that you will be having a good focus on the subject, and you will be a good ABAP consultant in future. And I'll one more thing I'll tell you. So in our starting sessions, we were focused on the basics. So these basics which are related to ABAP programming language. So how to learn an English language, a grammar is important. Like that, these basics are very important in future to frame a complex situations, complex scenarios. How grammar will help in future to frame a different sentences and to frame a stories, right? If you wanted to write a novel, if you don't know the English language, first thing is recommended to first learn the English language and then go and write novels with the learning of what you learned. So here, grammar for English learning, how it is important. In the same way, these ABAP basics, programming basics, are very important in your future to learn anything. Okay, so in this basics, we are going to talk about DDIC and ABAP basic programming. What is ABAP, how it is designed, and then we will also learn about object-oriented ABAP. So these three topics you have to focus fully and then practice thoroughly and come with a couple of questions and clarify. So how good you are into these topics, it makes you a next topics in that way to understandable. Okay, so this is the foundation for you. So make yourself very strong in these areas so that other things are just utilizing these flavors into that areas to build the objects. So coming to today's topic, we are going to talk about architecture of our software product. So we are SAP consultants. And what is our area in SAP consulting? We were technical consultants. What is the roles and responsibility of a technical consultant in a company? There is a customer, he purchased a software product from SAP, a software product, let's say ERP or S4 he purchased. And when a customer purchased product, he don't know how to use it. As a consultant, we used to help them. That is what our roles and responsibilities in the company. And SAP, once they sell the software product and they will not helping the companies to use it. That is company's responsibility to use the application. If they don't have knowledge, they will go and take the support from IT service providers to help installing the software for their business. Now here, as a technical consultant, if you wanted to support this product, first of all, you should know full details about this product. Without knowing the software, it is difficult to help them. Like we have a Photoshop software, and few of the customers are coming. They have few marriage pics or birthday related pics. They wanted to do some modifications in the pictures using the software. Then if you wanted to help them to make the pictures beautiful, first you should learn about that Adobe Photoshop software. If you know that software how it will work, then you will increase the brightness or decrease the brightness. Sometimes some dark spots will be there, you will remove it. Few new frames you will add it to the existing pics, and you will make a beautiful album, and customer also will happy, right? So in the same way, Amazon purchased this software. Just think like Photoshop, but they don't know how to use this Photoshop for their business. Now you are the one, you are going to help them. If you wanted to help them, first you should know this Photoshop related all the functionalities, how this Photoshop work and what are there inside, which one we have to use for which purpose. Everything you must aware of it, so that end customer you will support. Customer only ask for the outcome. He don't know that outcome how it will generate about the by using the software. So as a consultant, you have to guide them. Is it possible or not? Is it possible? Then how it is possible? How many days it will take? Like a photo, some people says like I wanted to modify my picture. Like I took my picture in 2 years age, and this 2 years age picture I wanted to modify like 28 years age picture. So they will ask, that is customer need. So whether that is possible or not, with the help of software, as a consultant, you have to guide them. So here it is important to know the functionality or the purpose of the software, how it is designed. So that is what it is going to tell about architecture. Architecture is nothing but how a software is designed and how this software our customers are using, and when they are using, how the software will perform that functions. So if you know in a high level, as a technical consultant, in further levels it is very easy to understand the in depth of the topic inside the ERP or S4. So now coming to the architecture of ERP or S4 is why I'm always saying ERP or S4, because ERP is a different software product and S4 is a different software product in the terms of names, but in the usage, both are meant to use for the same purpose for the customer. Amazon, if they purchased ERP, what reason they purchased? They wanted to handle internal business operations. If they are purchased a new upgraded version S4, that is also for the same purpose. So here purpose is not going to change, or the functionality is not going to change, which is this is assume like Adobe Photoshop, which does the same things where you can do the enhancements, modifications to your pictures and create beautiful albums. And also before Adobe Photoshop, you will be having few other software like a photo editor. This is also doing the same thing, but Adobe Photoshop has more features than the a normal version. Like that, SAP also they given the software, and then the customers who is using, they are coming with a lot of requirements. For their requirements, they have upgraded to new one. So the main purpose is not changed. Only the thing is the features inside the software which is enhanced. So that's why I'm saying ERP or S4 business standpoint, ERP or S4 both doing the same business, same help to the business. Both are helping Amazon company to deal internal business operations. So as a consultant, when you joined in any company like TCS or Accenture, you have a customer, and for that customer you are working. And when you are working for a customer based on the customer business, either you will work for the sales module, or you will work for the finance module, or you will work for the procurement. So any one of the modules, or sometimes mixed modules requirements you will receive. In company, each and every module we have a separate consultant. For sales we have SD, and finance we have FI, and procurement consultant. So there is a separate consultants and separate learnings are there for each and every business process. As a consultant, we are not bothered about how a business runs, what is the business sales process to we are not aware of that. That is not required for a technical consultant. Like to get a customer, let's say uh, if you wanted to make an album, you need a customer with the requirement, right? So how you are getting the customer, that is not your task. You are just a Photoshop designer. Your task is to someone will give you the work and you will do the enhancement, that's all. But how this work is coming, how customer is giving the work to you in the store, that is not at all a concern to you. So many customers they will come, so many requirements through, they will gather the albums, and then at the end they'll come to you. So what you will do at the end, so what is their need, you will be doing the technical support. In the same way, whether a customer is into sales, marketing, or finance, or the procurement, that is none of the matter for you as a technical consultant. What they are asking in the sales process, what is the problem they faced and what is they need, as a technically always you will think. Okay, so now when we talk about ERP or S4, I'm always saying that ERP or S4 both are same, and which are helping companies to deal internal business operations, right? So it is very difficult to explain all different modules business operations. So I choose a basic module. Every company, definitely this module will be there. If it is Amazon, Bench, Ford, or Asian Paints, Reliance, any company, sales process definitely will be there. So this is the module we are considering for our learning. And in sales module, what are the processes will be there, and which process will perform when, what is the transaction codes, and what are the tables where the data gets stored, and how this architecture what we are learning which is related to this process, those things we will discuss. So first, sales process. Let's say Amazon company, we are considering an example as Amazon. So Amazon is our company, and Amazon using SAP ERP or S4 software. And Amazon company, they are not the manufacturers of any product. They are just retailers, online platform providers. So there is a customer named Sanjay. He wanted to purchase a product using Amazon platform. So the product is laptop. He wanted to buy a laptop using Amazon platform. So what he will do, he will search in Amazon and then he will place an order in Amazon. So here what Sanjay is doing, he is doing order creation. So order creation, which is one process in sales area, sales nothing but SD, sales and distribution in SAP terminology. SAP sales, and this SAP sales is part of our ERP or S4 platform. In ERP or S4 software product, this is a software product. This software product consists of sales process, material management process, FI process, HR process, and product project management, and supply chain management or warehouse management. So these are all different sub modules inside this software product. If a customer purchased ERP, he will be having all these modules coming as a package to Amazon company. Now Amazon company, each and every module they have a separate consultants are available. With that help they will work, they will use the software for their business. Now order creation, when customer placed an order for to purchase a product, so this order creation is a process which is coming under SD module. And after order creation, what will happen, Amazon they are not manufacturing the laptops, they are going to place an order, that is purchase order with whom, the order which he placed against to, let's say he placed an order purchasing Apple laptop, then Amazon company place a purchase order to Apple company, they need this laptop. Now Apple company is the customer to Amazon. The terminology is important. So Amazon, sorry, Sanjay is customer to Amazon. He is customer, and Apple is vendor to Amazon company. So towards Amazon, you have to look. Customer, vendor, these are who are doing business with Amazon company. Those are business partners who are doing business with company. Those are called business partners. And customer and vendor information Amazon has to store, because next time when you call, they'll all ask you your details, right? So based on your details, they'll pick all the orders what you have created, and then they'll guide you. So this customer creation or vendor creation in Amazon company, when they are using ERP, this is called master data. Master data means data will be created once and which not be changed frequently. And order creation or purchase order. Order creation is nothing but sales order. And purchase order, which are nothing but transaction data. So after purchase order, what will happen? Apple company will send that product laptop to Amazon, and Amazon they'll place a delivery order. So in this delivery, what will happen? Shipment will happen. Whatever the laptop he requested Sanjay, it will be delivered to him. And after delivery, what will happen? Billing, invoice will be generated. So here billing is what? It is one more operation in the sales process. In a normal sales process, if you look at one scenario where customer is wanted to purchase a laptop, there are customer, there are vendor, these are called master data, and sales order, purchase order, delivery, and billing, this is called transaction data. And sales order, purchase order, billing, delivery, who is going to place? Amazon sales employee. And how he is going to place? Using SAP ERP software. And all the sales activities will deal by SD, all the purchase related activities which is deal by all the delivery related activities which deal by warehouse management, and all the billing related activities which are deal by finance management. So one process which requires different modules involvement. Okay, so when you're learning SD module, obviously you will learn related, obviously you learn finance related, you will learn delivery process related. So it's a mixed kind of business process. So it is very important for a technical consultant, whenever he got any requirement, he has to first go through the business process. He has to understand the business. When you understand the business, helping customer is very easy. Okay, so now we understand ERP is a product which is a combination of different submodules, and customers are using this software product for their day-to-day business activities. And we took an example of placing a order by a customer, and in this process we observe what are all the different things happen inside ERP system. In ERP system, Amazon sales employee, he has to create the master data, that is customer and vendor information, and he has to create the transaction data, which is nothing but sales order, purchase order, billing, and delivery. Now the question is, how Amazon employee, by using this ERP, he will place the orders, he will create the data, master data or transaction data. How he will create? He will create by using a software called SAP GUI and Eclipse, Fiori apps. So when he will use SAP GUI, when he will go for Fiori apps is, if a customer is using SAP ERP, then he will use SAP GUI. When he was using S4 system, then they'll go for Fiori apps. But whatever it is, what they are doing is same. They are using this softwares to create the orders, sales order, purchase order, billing, and delivery. So first we will see in SAP GUI how they will use this sales order creation, and that we will understand the architecture. So now if a customer, Amazon employee wanted to place a sale order using SAP GUI, then he has to use a T code called VA01. By using VA01, he can place order in SAP ERP system. If you wanted to create a customer, XD01, and if you wanted to create purchase order, ME21N. If you wanted to create a billing, FI01. If you wanted to create a delivery, VL01N. And where this data is going to store? Sales data will be stored in VBAK VBAP table, and customer data will be stored in KNA1 table, and vendor information will be stored in LFA1 table, and billing information VBRK VBRP, material purchase information EKKO EKPO, delivery information LIKP LIPS. Like that, different tables are there. So you have a doubt, as a technical consultant, is it required to remember all these T codes and tables? Certain point it is no, because you are a technical consultant, you don't need to remember any business process. But when you are attending any interview projecting some 2 years 3 years experience you have, in that case they will ask you what is the business process you have supported in your 2 years 3 years. When you are supporting, obviously you will learn automatically these T codes. So I'll recommend you to go through this sales process and then make the steps, which one comes first and which one comes next, and what are the important T codes and what are the important tables. Make a note of it, which will help you in your interview time. So in sales process, it starts from inquiry, and then quotation, and then sales order, and then purchase order which is coming under module, so I am not including here. Under after sales order, delivery will be there. After delivery, we have billing. So these are the main steps, and each process which have a T code, each T code through we will be creating that information into our SAP ERP system. And these are the T codes. And we have tables VBAK, VBAP, which stores inquiry, quotation, sales order information, and LIKP, LIPS, delivery information, VBRK, VBRP, which stores billing information, and master data means whatever I mentioned here, this is all transaction information. Orders all transaction, because transactions may happen many. One customer, he will place many orders. As a customer, you are not only placing laptop, you will also place many products. You will buy clothes, you will place for toys. So right, so many orders you will place. So these orders are called transaction information. And whatever you see here, customer and vendor, so this data is master data. This is not transaction data. Amazon company, they will create only once, and this master data will be stored in tables KNA1, and vendor information will be stored in uh, LF. What is this vendor table? Let me just check. Vendor table in SAP. LFA1, yes. So LFA1, and products nothing but which you are going to order, laptop or micro oven or AC, fridge. These are all products, and products information will be stored in table Mara. So these are a different set of information. These are called master, and these are transaction. And master also, we have T codes. What is the T codes? XK, XD01 for customer, XK01 for vendor, MM01 for products. So these are the transaction codes. Okay. So now we understand one process, and main T codes and transaction tables And now we will see how this architecture works. Let's say Amazon employee, he wanted to place a sale order for a customer what he was ordering for a laptop. Now Amazon company sales employee, he wanted to place a sales order. Now how this architecture is designed to place a sales order? ERP or S4 architecture. If you know this architecture for one process, and the rest of the process is same for all the applications. So this architecture, ERP architecture, they have designed in three levels: presentation layer, application layer, and database layer. This is called presentation layer, and this is called application layer, and this is called database layer. And ERP architecture, which we also call as R3 architecture. R3 means real-time three-tier architecture. And S4 suit for HANA architecture is two-tier architecture. I'll give you that also in this example only. Okay. So now when you look at the ERP, how they have designed is, let's say Amazon employee, he wanted to place a sales order. If he wanted to place a sales order, he has to use transaction code which is designed and developed by SAP, that is VA01. So he will log in through GUI, or he will use any Fury applications, and then he will enter details into the presentation layer. To create a sale order, what data is required? We need customer for whom we are placing order, and then quantity, and then product, what is the product a customer is placed. So those are the minimum inputs we have to enter. And once you enter this data, what will happen? Every transaction, VA01 is called transaction. Okay. So every transaction has two things in our software SAP ERP. One is screen and another one is program. So this program, which is written with ABAP programming language. So screen is responsible for display purpose and collect the inputs from the user, and program is responsible to process that information from presentation layer to application layer and then to database layer. So now what will happen once user enter data and click on save? A backend program, it will collect all the inputs and then store that data in application layer. After data is stored in application layer, the data segregations will happen, which means here VA01 transaction, which is a combination of different information, which means here we are entering customer data will be stored in KNA1, and we are also entered product, what product they are going to order. Product data will be stored in Mara, and they are going to enter item data, how many quantity they need. So this is going to store in VBAP table, and header information like what is the order type and which sales organization, which distribution channel it has to deliver. So those information header, which means input which is consisting of multiple tables information. So this application layer level program which receive that inputs, and after that it will segregate the data and then keep that information into the tables which are permanently available in the database layer. So user enter inputs in a simple way. How this architecture works is user enter inputs in presentation layer, and that data will be collected by application layer program, and that data will be segregated and then sent to database layer via application layer. So this is what the architecture. of ERP software product. And this architecture, which is applicable not only for sales order, which is also applicable for delivery, inquiry, quotation, whatever you say, a process, every process doing the same. If they wanted to perform something, they will enter T code and they will enter inputs. And backend program will be there, it will segregate and then keep the data into table. So this is for creation activity. So what is this activity is called creation of the data. So what about reading the data? So when it is reading, again the same process. They will use a T code, that is VA03, VA01 for creation, and VA02 for change, VA03 for display. I wanted to create VA01, enter your inputs, program will take it and then update the tables. I wanted to display, again VA03, enter your order number, and then that transaction related program will go and hit the database tables and collect the data, and then from application layer it will process to presentation layer. If you wanted to change, again use VA02 and then enter what you use the data you wanted to change, and application layer will capture that change and update to the tables. So whatever you are doing, creating, reading, or updating, or deleting, these are called CRUD operations. All operations you are doing from presentation layer, and application layer is responsible for the operations what you do to segregate and then process to the database. Now this is ERP. What about S4? In S4, only difference what we have is there is no database layer. So this database layer which clubbed into application layer, and there is no other change. Rest of the process what customers are doing same way they will do. They don't know what architecture changes. Okay, because they will not observe. Why? Because the process is same, whatever they do earlier in ERP, same way they are doing in HANA also. But what is making difference here is the performance is improved. Performance is nothing but when you enter data to see the result, immediately response will come in S4 system instead of ERP system. Why? For example, I wanted to see a sales order number information. I just entered here A01. When I enter this information, it has to go to the application layer. Now application layer, it will ask the database layer to provide the information. Now database layer will give that information to me. So it is like three persons working for one task. When it comes to HANA, only two people are working. If I wanted to see a order details, I'll be asking application layer. Application layer itself, it is a database layer. Then my response is very quick, I'll get the data very fast. That is what the major difference between ERP and S4. So how it is possible is with database called HANA. HANA is a database which is developed using a technology called in-memory technology. In-memory technology means you no need to create a separate server or layer where you wanted to store your data. So what they have done, instead of a separate server, they have implemented a huge memory in database so that the data will be stored directly in the application layer itself. In a simple manner, if you wanted to understand this concept, so let's say there is a movie which is you wanted to play in your laptop. That movie is there in a hard disk. So hard disk, you just correlate with your database. In your hard disk you have a movie. If you wanted to play a movie, first you need to connect your hard disk to your laptop, and once it is connected, then you need to go to the your hard disk and then click on the movie button, so that movie will be played. And when you have this movie directly in your laptop, it is not there in hard disk. That is what HANA, your movie is there in your laptop only. Then what you will do, directly you will go to that folder and play, right? There is no need of connection and then going there and playing. So time is reduced. So earlier your laptop is 200 GB capacity, okay, and that is not sufficient. So you purchased 1 TB hard disk and using that hard disk for your operations, data storage purpose. Now, what happened in your laptop? The laptop provider is giving 2 TB space. Then will you purchase external hard disk? No, 2 TB is very huge enough memory. So you no need any hard disk separately purchased. That is what HANA. So SAP they given huge memory in application layer. Instead of in the RAM, they have given huge memory. Then we no need to have a separate disk so that your task will be performed. But what is common? User will enter input. That input will come to the application layer. Application layer collects that input and segregate to the table. That is not going to change. That is there. But only thing is the work where it is performing, that is changed. Okay, that is what difference between ERP and S4. Now I will log in into ERP server and I will show you how this architecture, we have three different layers. I'm logging into SAP GUI. This is the software which is required to connect with our servers, and institute team they will help you if you wanted to. So since how long this is not in presenting mode? Is this just happened or from the beginning?
It just happened a few seconds.
Oh, okay. And I can see a message, Preeti Kayadi, saying that my voice is breaking. So is it same for everybody or only for Preeti is this issue? How about others? Is it clear or
No,
breaking?
for me, your voice is clear, Sanjay.
Okay, thanks.
Is it clear? Clear, sir.
Okay, might be depends on your network. Okay, so where we are? So I am saying that we need this software GUI to connect with SAP software products, ERP or HANA, whatever it is, S4 system, CRM, any software. If you wanted to connect, we need this GUI. It is not removed. Still, if S4 is there, Eclipse is there, still we need a GUI. Okay, and now to connect with application, we need these details, and these details, server related, application related details will be provided by server support team. Connect with them and ask them to provide the information, and also tell them whether you are using Apple or Windows. Based on the type of your operating system, the software will be depends. Okay, they will guide you how to install and how to add your systems. And once you add your system, double click on system. I'm logging into SAP ERP, and it has a client server architecture. And in coming classes I'll explain you what is this client server architecture, and this is also important thing to know. And after that, credentials will be shared by you, server team. Whatever you receive, that credentials you just enter here. And after you enter, you will see a screen. This is called SAP initial screen. And in SAP software, this is SAP software ERP, and inside SAP software, you will see two things common. Every screen must have a T code. Whatever you see, that screen must have a T code. And right now I am seeing a screen, that the screen related T code is session manager. And every T code must have two things. One is screen and another one is program. So here, whatever I am able to see on my own eyes, this is developed on a screen. Okay. And whatever I'm doing operations, I'm just interacting with the buttons, right? If I click here, there are some drop down which is coming. How it is coming? Because the logic is present in this program. Okay, that you need to remember. And I wanted to know, everybody, it is recommended to know which software version you are learning. That is very important when you are practicing also. And which is sometimes they will ask in interview time which software version you supported. And if you wanted to see that extras or systems, uh, system status. So here you will see which database our software product is running. This is MS SQL database. And if you click on this product version information, where you can see here installed product, where you can see this product is SAP ERP and it is released on 2005, and version is ERP 6 version, and this is software product related. What about ABAP technical related? ABAP version is what? So you can see here SAP ABA 7.4 version. SAP ABA is a latest version, latest syntaxes, whatever SAP is given, which works in our system. This is what the latest one. And after 7.4, we have 7.5 series version also. But 7.4 is latest only. It is, we can use it for latest coding and all, which support S4 coding, SAP ABAP component. And what you see here, these are called menus, and these are called application toolbar buttons, and this is called command bar. And Amazon employees, if they wanted to place an order, they will use this command bar, and then they will enter T code here. If they wanted to create a sale order, they will enter VA01, and after enter this transaction code, there will be a screen which is coming and which is asking to provide few inputs. And Amazon employee, he will enter these inputs. Order type OR. How do I know order type is OR only? Because this is given by SAP sales guy. If you wanted to create a sales order, you have to provide order type OR. OR belongs to a different order type. There are so many order types are there: service order, repair order, and delivery order, normal order. Different orders will be there. And these order type related details, who knows? SAP SD consultant. Who knows how to create a order? SAP SD consultant. As a technical consultant, we will never aware of this order creation. Or if anybody asks what is the order type meaning, or we don't know, that is not a job of SAP technical consultant. We only bother about a technical knowledge. So why we are here? To understand how this architecture is designed. Now user will enter and he will go to one more screen where he will enter the customer information, which is sold to party, which is nothing but customer. And then if there is any purchase order against with this, they will enter. And after that, it will ask to provide the sales organization, distribution channel, division data, along with that product information. So let's say laptop, if user is purchasing, how many quantities he need, and when the delivery date, and from which plant this data is required. All these things Amazon employee he will place for Sanjay. One is identify, just correlate as a Sanjay. For Sanjay, Amazon employee is placing an order to purchase the laptops. Now after that, Amazon employee will click on save. Once he click on save, what will happen is data what Amazon employee entered, this will go to the application layer. So Amazon employee, what he will see the screen and enter the data, that is called presentation layer. And the data after he enter, click on save, the data what he entered, which will go to the application layer. This is called application layer, where this application layer written with ABAP program. So here every T code must have a program, right? So the T code VA01, which is having a program SAP MV45, that program is responsible to collect all these inputs. And then what that program does, it will go and store data in a database layer, table VBAK, KNA1, and multiple information in multiple tables. It will go and update. So that segregation will be doing by application layer using ABAP programming helper. And front end user, they don't know where this data is going, so they simply know to create order, these are the data they have to provide. But in back end, many tables are there, and these tables will be segregated and then added by your application layer. So here if you see how many layers we have three layers: presentation where user entered, application where program which collect that inputs, and a database where this program moved information what you entered into the backend tables. So this is what the SAP ERP architecture. When it comes to S4, you don't have a separate database. In application layer itself, data will be stored. But if you wanted to distinguish and show, that is not possible. Only thing is, we have to understand there is only two layers. In that second layer only, data is also going to update. So this is what our SAP ERP architecture. Okay, so you will come to understand now. Once I log into the system, right? So every screen we say sessions. Here, how many sessions are open? Two sessions are open. One session which is having empty screen, another session which is having a table information screen. Now, there are some shortcut keys also there, which means I wanted to keep this session alive and then open one more session where I wanted to see the sales order data VA03. Then I can use /O, and you just come here and then enter some sales order. You will see the sales order information. That is third session. And I wanted to kill this session and open a session where I wanted to change the sales order, or I wanted to see a delivery creation information. Then /n. So /n, it will kill the existing session and open another session. And I just practiced with all my work, and then I don't wanted to use these sessions. I wanted to close all these sessions. Then here you have a cancel button, cancel it to close. Otherwise, if there are multiple screens are there, you don't wanted to close it manually, then there is a shortcut key called /nex. If you enter that, automatically all your sessions will be closed. And so these sessions, okay, related shortcut keys, you will find it out from here. Shortcut keys for ABAP or SAP keyboard shortcuts. So use this link and go through once, so that you will be having an idea how these shortcut keys are working. Okay, so I'll be stopping with this today. Okay, what we discussed is about architecture, how it will function, and as a ABAP consultant, why it is important is that is where everything is reside. You are writing a code means what purpose you are writing the code. So that is more important. So that's why we are talking about the architecture. So if you understand architecture, then it is easy to write the coding. Okay. Any doubts so far today?
Sanjay, I have one doubt, or as we are talking about the S4 HANA is an in-memory database which we are integrating in the application server itself. But whenever it comes to an external database, we can choose our own, if it is a Microsoft SQL Server or an Oracle or any other database. But it comes to S4 HANA, what kind of database it is?
S4 HANA database is a column store database. Microsoft databases are row store database. Okay, so
Okay.
that is entirely a new architecture they come up for HANA database. So as a technical consultant, we were not focused on how database organized, or we are not focused on how this front end applications like sales process or these process are they have designed. We are a technical consultant, backend support consultant. We were only focused on the how this application and presentation are correlated, like how this data exchange is happening. If customer need a manipulations with the ABAP language, how we are going to implement that manipulations. Okay, so
Okay.
you will understand slowly at this time of you just understand both the databases organization is different.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other doubts? Okay, if no questions, we can
Hello?
wind up for,
Hello?
yeah.
Sir, actually, I have one question. It is not related to today's topic. Uh, as we discussed in first in demo sessions, we have basic and intermediate and advanced levels, right? In advanced levels, we will learn HANA or the HANA. How many days you are spent on HANA for learning?
See, ABAP, it will take 3 months.
Hmm?
Object-oriented ABAP, it will take another 2 months. And HANA modeling, it will take 2 months. And HANA ABAP, it will take 3 months. And BTP RAP, it will take at least 1 month for practice. So in a overall, if you go and you wanted to learn in a deeply, at least these are all which will take nearly 1 year time. But if you are spending this 1 year time only for learning, you will not get a job opportunity. Nowadays, when you attend any interviews with only ABAP, that will not work. If you attend interview only with HANA knowledge, without having a basic ABAP programming, that is not work. Right now, the situation is many of the customers are using still old product, and few customers are using latest product, and it is like future they'll use a latest product. So you don't know which customer you are going to face. But right now, as I am working, so in my work, how I'll be working for my client. My client is using S4 system, and he was migrated from ERP to S4. So during this journey, what as a ABAP consultant I have learned, which means basic ABAP, and then object oriented ABAP, and then HANA, which means CDS and AMDP procedures, OData, and all these things, which is required for you to understand the concepts and clear your interviews. That is what it is planned in this beginner, intermediate, and advanced. But when you specifically go to any topic in depth, so many things are there. But in this training, it is not possible to cover in depth of things. So I'll be giving you an overview or a path how this is designed, where it is being used. Okay, so that you will prepare your next steps on your own. You understand?
Okay. Mhm.
So that is what. So HANA ABAP, if you see, I'll uh, show you one example where we were using CDS views. Through that CDS views, where we are exposing our data, and then which application where we were using this OData services, and all through one scenario. In that scenarios, I'll show you. But in CDS views, lot of things we can do. Lot of things in the sense like customer need. So customer needs are different. To satisfy customer needs, you need to think and implement the solution. So while implementing, when you go and search in CDS, there are lot of options are there. So those lot of options you have to try on your own. Understand?
Okay. Okay. Yep.
Yes.
Actually, yesterday we discussed, right? We spent at least 1 week. So I discussed with my friend. She is already working in SFN. So then she told me it's not possible to complete within 1 week.
Yes, that is what I am also saying, right? So
Hmm.
completely learning it is not possible. So if you want to completely learn it, join especially for that course only. But
Okay.
if you learn it and go outside, and when you a customer he is not using HANA, then you are end up with no job opportunity.
Okay. So basically, what's our planning to spend how many days on HANA now in this course?
You are just a learner. You just started your career. You don't know anything on ABAP. So whatever I will teach you, you just learn it blindly and then attend the interview. First clear your interview and get the job opportunity. So once you placed in the job, then you will come to see the real beauty of the course what you learn. In that time you will explore more. But you are already working in ABAP platform, okay? You have already a job and you wanted to enhance your skill. You wanted to brush up your skills.
Okay.
Learn a specific module, spend only for that time, 1 month or 2 months for the extension of your career, and then practice it. This is only a course, only it is helpful. uh, a candidate, he doesn't know anything on SAP, but he need a job on technical domain, definitely he must go through these all the topics, and individually for him to teach that is not possible, but for interview sake he must learn, that is required. But for interview sake individually spending 12 months of time not recommended. For them only this course is designed. And also few people like working in a project, an SAP SD module or module, and they wanted to learn more technical knowledge, acquire more technical knowledge to prepare the functional specification or to talk about the requirements with the customer and the technical team. For them this course will help them. They'll come to know end to end debugging and the technical stuff, everything they'll come to know. So they will have an idea how CDS works, how AMDP works or BTP framework works. Then they'll go to a project, they can work independently. So without any fear on the technical areas. And the people who are into a .NET or a Java domain for a few years, they wanted to come to SAP with the projecting 3 years, 4 years experience. For them also, this course will help them. So after our end of the course, project will be there. In that project, what are the objects we have developed, that he will kept in the resume. He will go and attend and explain the same thing. So no one will not work especially for particular one area, but when it comes to interview they may expect all the areas whether you have exposure or not. So this course is not suitable for the candidates only are currently in ABAP platform, and their intention is to, they wanted to expose, they extend their skill set by learning ABAP HANA or by learning ABAP BTP. For them it is not work. They have to learn separate course for ABAP HANA or ABAP BTP separately, 1 month or 2 months they will take. That is my recommendation. Okay.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Please get the recording. Institute team they will provide you. Okay. After this we completed, right, they will take some time and then they will upload it. It will be there in that group. Any other doubts?
Hi, sir. This is Kiran.
Yeah, Kiran.
Sir, yesterday, day before yesterday, you took two classes, right? So,
Yes.
demo classes.
Hmm.
So, let us, we need to study both two classes, or we can start from this class.
This is the first class. Those are just demo class, which is explaining what is SAP and what is how softwares will be purchased, customers are
Oh,
using. So it's a high level discussion, but this is from here you can start.
okay, sir. Thank you. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Any other questions? Okay. If no questions, we can wind up for today. Thank you all. Have a good day. Bye.